Okay, so I'm going to go over this rig that I made for a belt. It's actually a yoga belt. All right. Um, Starting from the base of the rig, this piece here, this is a bone that is using a custom shape. If you go to the bone properties, you'll see it's a custom shape down here. So everything is bones. Which means when you go over here to the action, when you record a keyframe, it gets recorded as part of in pose mode. This will, if you add a keyframe to this, you get a keyframe to that bone. It's all part of the same action along with all the other bones. Okay, so that's how that works. And now also I rotated everything and faced it down the y-axis because that's just a better practice all the way around. In other apps that's the positive Z. In Blender it's the positive Y. Same difference. Okay, so it's all bones. And I decided rather than have a really complex rig with a lot of constraints and so on, I did a very simple rig, and it's how we set up the controllers. It's how we set up the pivot points. If we go over here to pivot point, where we set the pivot point that makes the difference on using this rig. So I'm going to demonstrate that real quick. So the way it works is we got the buckle itself is also within the same rig, right? Rather than a separate object. So that can be animated as well and moved around to different positions around on the belt, either this way or to either end, and so on. It's all parented to the base, right? And these individual bones here, these can be rotated individually. And it's like I say, it's a very simple rig because it's just a forward kinematic rig. But I'll show you in a second here how this can be real powerful and real flexible to get what you want. Okay, so this is how we do it. So if you, for example, let's say you wanted a real sharp corner, then we just do this one like so, like that, right? That's a fairly sharp corner. Let's say you wanted it to wrap around the bottom of a foot up here. You could grab more like this. And the key thing is here is if you just leave it the way it is now, it just, oh, I do have it there already, excuse me. So if you set it to individual origins, then that gives you this nice little ability to curve it like that. You see, you can curve it around something like that. Or you can choose a smaller number of them, let's say like that, and curve it like that, and then you could again choose another smaller number like that and curve it like that. You see, and so now that's really simple, real easy to control. You can get it wrapped around something tight, or if you want a larger curve, let's say if we grabbed all of these without the base, and we can get sort of a wider curve like that. Let's say if I back up here a little bit. It's the distance of your cursor from the center is what you want, so you can get a more control. So if I go like this, and I have more control over getting it slower. But in that case, of course, it's going to go at an angle, right, which I don't want. So let's just say if I wanted to curve it straight, I would go rotate on the X, right, and then it would go like that. Okay, so you could get any, number of angles and curved on here. All right, so that's how that works. And so if you want to bake the animation, if you have a keyframe here, like that, and then we move here, and let's just move that like that, and then we keyframe that. Now we have an action, and to bake that action, 2 keyframes, right? Actually we have to do this and then keyframe those. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, and then we just go pose, animation, bake action. Okay,